Hezbollah has launched its first attack since Sunday's significant rocket and drone strikes on Israeli positions, targeting surveillance equipment at the Ramaya site with an assault drone. This action follows recent escalations along the Israel-Lebanon border, prompting sirens in nearby Israeli communities. Iran has vowed retaliation for the assassination of Hamas Politburo chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, with Major General Mohammad Bagheri promising a calculated response. This vow is linked to Hezbollah's recent strikes on Israel, reflecting ongoing tensions in the region. In Gaza, the humanitarian crisis deepens with the UN Relief and Works Agency (UNRWA) describing the situation as a never-ending tragedy and calling for an immediate ceasefire. The Health Ministry updated the death toll to 30 over the last 24 hours, bringing the total since October 7 to 40,435 killed and 93,534 injured. Amid the escalating conflict, the World Food Programme (WFP) reports severe disruptions in food distribution in Gaza due to expanding Israeli evacuation orders and damaged infrastructure. The WFP is struggling to deliver adequate aid, with only half of the required food reaching the enclave in recent months. Meanwhile, 60 global press freedom and human rights organizations have urged the European Union to take action against Israel for its violations of media freedom and the killing of journalists, recommending the suspension of the EU-Israel Association Agreement and targeted sanctions. On the other hand, Israel has received its 500th U.S. military supply plane since the start of its war on Gaza. The Israeli Defense Ministry reported that this airlift operation has delivered over 50,000 tons of military equipment, crucial for sustaining its operational capabilities. At least 40 people were killed in a series of coordinated attacks across Balochistan on Sunday night. Armed men targeted levees and police stations in multiple districts, including Mastung, Kalat, Pasni, and Suntsar. The Baloch Liberation Army (BLA) claimed responsibility for the attacks, which also saw armed assailants stopping vehicles and shooting passengers in Musakile. In response, security forces killed 21 terrorists, with Interior Minister Mohsen Naqvi vowing to bring the perpetrators to justice. Amnesty International has raised concerns over Pakistan's recent internet slowdown, urging authorities to clarify the cause. The Pakistan Telecommunication Authority attributed the issue to a faulty submarine cable, denying reports of a government firewall. The Islamabad High Court has requested responses from the government following a petition by journalist Hamid Mir. In another tragedy, at least 3 Pakistani pilgrims were killed, and 48 others injured in a bus collision in southern Iran. The pilgrims were on their way to Iraq for the Arbaeen commemoration when the accident occurred due to brake failure. This marks the second deadly incident involving Pakistani pilgrims in Iran within a week. Meanwhile, a Lahore court has discharged Farhan Asif, who was accused of spreading disinformation that fueled recent riots in the UK. Asif was linked to a false story that sparked anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant sentiments. After a 5-day investigation by the FIA's cybercrime wing, the court ordered his release. Russia conducted a major missile and drone attack on Ukraine overnight, targeting energy infrastructure. At least 4 people were killed and 48 injured, with power outages reported in several cities, including Kyiv and Dnipro. Ukrainian officials described the assault as one of the largest in over 2 years. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that more than 100 missiles and around 100 drones were used. The attack affected nearly all regions of Ukraine, from Kharkiv to Odessa. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis 𝐶HMYL said 15 regions were targeted, leading to emergency power cuts by Ukrenergo to stabilize the grid. Russia's defense ministry confirmed the strikes aimed at Ukraine's power grid and rail lines, claiming they disrupted transport of military supplies. The assault follows recent warnings from the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv about increased risks of Russian attacks. The attack is part of ongoing efforts by Russia to undermine Ukraine's energy sector and disrupt daily life, as highlighted by ongoing conflicts in Donetsk and Kursk.